This is the Altitude Daily Podcast. Everything you can't miss from today on Altitude Sports Radio. Mosher, Lombardi, and Kane.
So let's start by team here. And I have a rule in the X Factor game. Can't be guys like the obvious ones, right? Joker is not an X Factor. Joker needs to play well for you to win. I put Jamal in that category too. Jamal cannot be an X Factor because he needs to play well to win. For the Avs, MacKinnon, Makar off the table, and I'm taking goaltender off the table. That's also obvious. So let's start with the Avs.
Well, it's an easy one. Who's the biggest X factor on this team?
Val.
It's exactly right.
Yeah.
13. Val Nichushkin.
There you go.
He wears number 13, by the way. Does Val Nichushkin?
He
Does everybody
does.
know that? Valeri Nichushkin.
Who told you that?
Anyway, the point is that when that guy is on, they are almost unbeatable. Because everybody else does their job and kicks major butt. He's a huge X factor.
I have another name for you if you'd like.
All right. He was this season. Overall this season, he wasn't a point a game guy, but he was virtually.
Yes. I think Val is probably the right answer. I'm going to throw out another one. Something that the Avs had when they won the championship that they haven't had since. When they won the cup.
Fourth line?
Yes, one of those. I think it's Brock Nelson. Second line center, Naz Kadri, was a huge difference maker. If Brock Nelson can be anywhere close to what Kadri was during that playoff run, I think it would be massive to boost out your top line along. I think the third and fourth lines are going to be fine. I think they're going to win their matchups.
Good answer.
But if Nelson can do that in the middle and be your Kadri, I think it's huge.
Answer.
Well, they both
we need to be more supportive of each other, like Family Feud. When somebody answers a question, the rest of the family says, "Good answer." We need to do that.
Hey, Vic, come over and give me a little kiss.
No, seriously, we need to be. We're a little too hard on one another. We need to be more supportive.
Charlie Coyle and Brock Nelson both had 13 points in 19 games, which is pretty damn good. If you extrapolate that out, and I know you hate that word, Vic. I know you hate it. But if you're talking about like 70 points for a guy, it's pretty dang good, man. You know, these guys are...
It's not that I hate the word. You don't have to use the word out after extrapolate. Extrapolate essentially means out when you take it for what it means. So you don't have to say extrapolate.
Oh, is that Notre Dame education being paid off here?
When you extrapolate, you don't have to say extrapolate out. What are you going to extrapolate in?
The Altitude Daily. The Morning Sprint.
It would be the dumbest possible thing you could do. Gabe Landeskog did not play in back-to-back American Hockey League games to sit out and be an ornament on a Christmas tree in Game 3 just because the home fans want to be the first to see him. Vibes mean everything. They don't just matter at home. They matter on the road as well. You don't think that him stepping onto the ice with his team in Game 1 is going to get those guys juiced up? You think they have to wait until they're at home to do that? That it matters more at home? What happens if you come home down 2-0 and he's a player that could have helped you in Games 1 and 2? You're here to win. This is not just about the emotional experience of Gabe Landeskog. It is about Gabe Landeskog helping you win hockey games to hoist the 4th Stanley Cup in the program's history.
The holding Gabe Landeskog for a Game 3 at home emotional jolt, this is nonsense.
Nonsense.
Pure nonsense. The only way that Gabe Landeskog's not playing Game 1 and is for some reason playing Game 3 is if there's something physical that came out of playing in Colorado Eagles 2 games in the back-to-back, but it doesn't appear to be the case whatsoever.
It doesn't?
What do you think that Jared Bednar is doing by not just proclaiming that Gabe Landeskog is playing in Game 1?
We are 6 days away from the NFL draft, which is smokescreen territory.
Yes, why would you give up your hand? And you all of a sudden, Peter DeBoer now knows a little bit more about the pairings that he might need to strategize against. That's the cool thing about the X factor of all X factors is Gabe Landeskog, your C, that is going to be playing for the first time from a leadership perspective. That's one of the things, but also where are you going to place him?
Where are you going to play him, and who's he going to, from a DeBoer standpoint, from a Dallas Star standpoint, are you preparing as though Gabe Landeskog is a 4th liner? Or are you preparing as if he is back to who he was prior to the injury, right? A 30-goal scorer, one of the best power forwards in the game. Because if you prepare for him to be a 4th liner and he just comes back and he's ready to go into the top 6 within a game or two, now you're in big trouble if you're the Dallas Stars. Or if you prepare, he's going to be in the top 6. He's going to play alongside Nathan MacKinnon as early as game 1 or game 2, and he doesn't. Now he's in the bottom 6. That is a different game plan. There's a reason why there's no certainty. There's a reason why we couldn't get it out for certain out of McGahee, out of Mark Mosier earlier on today with Mosier, Lombardi, and Kane.
It was killing me.
They won't plant their flag.
Even off the air. Moj, come on, man.
Guys, he's playing in game 1. Everything points to him playing in game 1.
The Altitude Daily. Columbus, Hastings, and DMAC.
It's time to preview the Nuggets and the Clippers with Scott Hastings. Let's go, Dan.
Now Hastings wants a piece. All right, brother. Fight the power, man. What we got?
Well, we talked about it on the show right here. The 2 or 3 things they got to do, and we'll go series by series. But the thing you got to do is it's got to be your will, not theirs. You know, I go back to that one year when Denver was 3 and they lost to Golden State, who was 6. George was here. They went small ball because of injury, and instead of just pounding them big inside, pound them, your will, George tried to convert to what they were doing to match up with them. And once you match up to another team, it's over. You've now allowed their will.
You're playing to them.
You're playing to them. So you've got to impose. Your will has to be imposed. Defensively, I feel like they've been better the last 3 games. They've changed the philosophy, and I believe David talked about it. I don't know if it was a Sacramento game that he said we changed some things. Decided we're going to, that little floater at the 15-foot. They get those here and there. We're going to let them get that. We're going to take away the 3. And I thought that philosophy stayed over the last couple games. And I think you got to do that. You can't let the Clippers just destroy you from the 3-point line. Turnovers. You know what they were averaging turnovers before and after in the last 3?
Give it to us.
They're averaging like 18 or 19 turnovers a game, something like that. And since David's taken over, you know what they're averaging? 9.
Really?
9.
What's the difference?
Well, they ain't being stupid, I guess. More guys are maybe playing close to their vest.
What's DA got to do with that?
I don't know. Maybe it's
or
a wake
it just,
up.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a wake up. Same thing with the defense. Malone's been harping on it all year. He's been harping on turnovers all year. Maybe the team got the message right. We help.
That feels
do this.
so unfair to Malone.
It absolutely is. But it also shows he was right.
Right. Correct.
And then finally, I've always said this. I remember we went to the first playoffs. Joker had a great year, and everybody said, "Yeah, but can he do in the playoffs?" And I said, and I've seen this throughout time, great players elevate their games in the playoffs. Joker's done it every year. Joker's been great all year. I mean, Joker's been great this year, average triple-double. He will still elevate his game in the playoffs. Murray's got to be that same guy. I think Gordon will, and I think especially because of health, they'll be able to. The key is Michael Porter. If Michael Porter can elevate his game to pre-All-Star game as opposed to post-All-Star game, Michael, they win this thing in 4 or 5 games. If he averages 20 points a game, they win this thing in 5 games.
Okay.
If everybody has elevated their game as well. I think he is a monster key to this series.
Well, make sure you put your arm around him.
Okay? Well,
A little bit.
And I think the team has been down the stretch.
Okay. All right. Well, good. So what's your prediction for game 1?
W.
The Altitude Daily. Kretman and Lindahl.
For this Denver Nuggets team, starting game 1 tomorrow afternoon against the Clippers. Kaz will have the call right here on Altitude Sports Radio 92.5. What to you is the like 1A storyline of this series for the Nuggets?
Man.
Stumped you, didn't it?
Well, because there's a lot. Is it the Adelman angle, the team battling without its coach? Did the breath of fresh air work for the play? Did the juice get squeezed, I guess, to borrow Josh's terms?
Forgot about
that. Look, there's always going to be pressure when you got Nikola Jokic. Can you not? I don't want to call it waste. What would be wasting another year? Because it can't just be a championship. It's all right. Like, to me, if you can at least get to the Western Conference Finals and you lose to an incredible Oklahoma City team or someone of that ilk, you've told me you think the Lakers, unfortunately, are a much more amazing basketball team with Luka, then fine. But it can't be, for me, you can't be a first-round exit, man.
It's a bad look.
Coaching change or not, you can't first-round exit this sucker.
Yeah, one and done it in a year where Jokic averaged a triple-double.
Yeah.
Ooh, that doesn't look good.
And then
that'd be a bad look.
Is Jamal Murray right? What is this team like? How about this? You know what? I'll pick one out.
Let me tell you another thing, though, about the one and done before you move on really quickly. All of the critics that will come crawling out of the woodworks to say, what the hell were you doing firing your coach right before the start of the playoffs if they go one and done? Now, look, they might have done it anyway.
Right. They were going to, it sounds like.
Probably.
Although I don't think Josh wanted him another chance to run his way back into it.
But it'll be a sharpening of the knives for critics that said this timing is idiotic. What are you doing firing your coach right now? Malone is an experienced, championship-proven coach. What are you doing getting rid of him and putting somebody in the seat with 3 games to prepare for the postseason? And look, I think that's a fair question to ask. Like, how is Adelman going to respond to this? It's one of the ones that I actually have it written down 3rd on my list.
I'll give you this. Here's my top one.
Okay.
Are the core 4 still magic?
You've been listening to the Altitude Daily. Catch us live weekdays on 92.5 FM, the Altitude Sports Radio app, twitch.tv/AltitudeSR, youtube.com/Altitude Sports Radio, and your favorite smart speaker. Say Altitude Sports Radio.